Hey guys, Johnny Tacos here with another exciting and informative episode of the Johnny Taco Show. And if you have some coffee, because it is in the morning right now as we record, sit back, relax, and enjoy the sounds of nature. Well, as you can see, my guest today, Jaron, is out there in the elements, just kind of powering through all that beautifulness over there while I'm stuck in four walls.
Hey, just
Stuffy.
stare at your screen.
Maybe we should just put the camera close to the nature and go, "Welcome, you are wanted. Just relax,
Enjoy.
enjoy the nice water as it
I'm
flows
gonna let y'all
from the
do this for a
clouds."
while.
I'm just going to forget that this is a show about interviews, and we're just going to go deep dive into Mother Nature.
Wow, like a little bit of ASMR right there.
All right. So we have Jaron all the way from San Antonio and his band, EPIGONE. And we have talked to his wife previously and Beautiful Defects with Celeste. And, it was a great interview. So I'm pretty excited about hearing your interview. So
Cool.
before we get to the show, because I got sidetracked with all the nature, um, just want to let you know that Christmas is coming upon, and we are having a Christmas show. And I'm going to reach out to some of the band members that I've spoken to this year and previous years. And we're going to do a live special.
Okay.
I believe we're going to do it on the TikTok. So
All
it
right.
should be fun, should be exciting. We'll play some music, Christmas music. I have when I first started doing this podcast, uh, I just did I had an alter ego, yeah, called Rex. And I kind of did a snippet called Rex's First Christmas. And it was a reenactment of Mary and the angels all the way up to the birth of Jesus with the three wise men. It's weird. It's funny. I was hoping to meet somebody that was had animation skills because that would have been cool to do all that. But we could listen to it, laugh, and joke. It's only a couple minutes, so
I did
uh,
some animation in college for a little while, but I don't have the programs right now for it, but I have the skills.
you have the skills and the dollar bills.
Maybe some dollar bills. Very fleeting.
So, but yeah, we're gonna have a great time. Got a couple of guys in mind. If you have heard Paul from Christ Core, he's gonna show up. We also have Johnny Lee and Nurse Tony and a couple other guys, and
Cool.
maybe we can pull Jaron's leg and his wife, at least
Hey,
for
we
a
we like
quick
having fun, man.
drop in to say Merry Christmas and all that stuff. But just keep your ears open. It's going to be awesome. It's kind of my season finale kind of thing, because after that I am going to be obsolete for a little bit to spend time with the family and friends on the holiday season. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. This is my fourth year of being a podcaster, and all the ups and downs. I'm doing this for God. Uh, if I wanted to do it for $1 million, get paid millions of dollars, um, you know, it would be a different route, but my heart is I wanted to serve God, and I didn't know how to. I'm not very good at being on stage and quoting scripture and being a pastor or reverend or whatever denomination that they do. So I I wanted to do something also to help out the independent artists out there who have awesome Christian bands that are positive, uplifting, and this is the way we can do it. That's the way I can do it. This is kind of my tithing. I can never pronounce that right.
Yeah. No, I get you, man. It's what you could put to the kingdom of God to help build it up. Just
Yes.
using the skills you got.
Yep. The skills. Word. So, speaking of skills, let's talk about you. It's
All
all
right.
about you today. No harassment, nothing. Just raw Jaron.
I appreciate that.
So tell us a little something about you.
About me, not the band, me.
Yes, we're gonna go to you, and then we'll go to the band.
Well, I'm a quiet individual. I recharge in spaces like this, and but I'm a very pensive person too. So I really, really love helping people, and just through things I've been through in my life, I have found that God has really inspired me to really try to dig into what other people are going through and not necessarily try to be relatable, but to try to have empathy and anything that I've been through, be able to join them in that and hopefully help them through what they're going through. If not having words of wisdom, just being able to be a presence there with people so that they don't feel alone. Because honestly, going through stuff alone is tough. And so my heart and my inspiration is always to just be prepared to be there for people. I just really have a heart for people. So that's kind of just at the core of who I am. And so if that means that I'm being quiet, or if that means that I have a lot to say, it's really coming from a place from the heart where I'm really seeking God's face. That's just who I am.
And with that, that kind of gives you the outline of the band's kind of statement, right?
Yeah.
So when you were saying you've been through a lot, please stop me if you don't want to talk about it.
I'm open to everything, man.
But
Yeah,
what do
man.
you mean that you've been through a lot? Was it during youthful times? Because I know that we have done some stuff in our youth that we're not very proud of.
Yeah,
What do
there's
you
things
mean?
like that. I mean, it's honestly my whole life. And sometimes it's like things you don't realize till you're older. Like I didn't understand the impact to some things that were going on with me. Like when I was born, I had lung issues, and so and that's one of the testimonies I have with doing music is that for the first few years of my life, I struggled with some pretty serious lung issues that hospitalized me a few times. At one point, the doctors were considering cutting out half of my lungs because they thought I had a defect. And my dad, being a prayerful man, he felt in the spirit that he should get a second opinion. So when he went to go ask other doctors, they determined I had just a lot of scar tissue on my lungs. And I also was born with the inverted sternum, which like dips in, it presses on my heart and my lungs and stuff. And so with that, second opinion, they determined that they could help me recover. But I was pretty near passing from that about at 6 years old. And so that was my first hurdle to overcome. And honestly, like throughout all my childhood, from that point on to about high school, I had acute asthma. I would always have respiratory issues. And that paired with a heart and a desire to sing was a struggle, because being able to get the strength in my voice and the strength in my lungs, not being able to do sports, like do things that other kids got to do. And sometimes that would bleed over into me having a softer voice because I don't have strength. And so some people would make fun of me for just that, something I couldn't control. And, back then it was kind of like you laugh it off. But moving forward, you go, man, that was really jacked up. People not being able to understand your situation. And so that's just one aspect of some of the things I've been through. Another one was that I had a family, a military family. Usually military families move around a lot. My family stayed put in San Angelo, where we lived, for like about 13, 14 years. My dad had a specialized job to where he would get sent on TDYs, like just kind of these overseas things. So he would spend a lot of time in Korea, Albania, places like that. And so there was a lot of time that went by where my dad wasn't really there. And he was a godly man, but he also had his own kind of career mindset, and he also had frustrations, and he had things from his past of his own that he kind of brought in that I never understood as a kid. And so his absence, once again, I was just going through life, but later on I realized how much it affected me. Like there were some key moments, like where my dad was back at one point, and like my kid self didn't know how to tell him how much I missed him and how hurtful it was for him to always leave. So he recalled at one point, when I was older, he said that I had told him that I wish that he'd go away and just die. And I realized that later on, that was me just trying to tell him, I wish that you would just leave and stay gone rather than come back and always go away again. So, oh yeah, you have a question?
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
when we're kids, we usually say stuff out of anger, out of hurtfulness, and parents pretty much, if they're parental, they understand it's out of anger. Um, but yeah, when you go in and out of somebody's life, it can tear up the psyche of that person, of that
Yeah.
child. So yeah, I
Yeah.
understand.
And so what that does is like, it just makes you kind of like confused. Like as a kid, you already don't know how to articulate the things that you're saying. You don't know how to understand all the input that you're getting. You don't quite know you don't have the wisdom to put together the bigger picture. And so, like, honestly, what it was for me is like, I think with my lung issues, like, that caused a lot of lack of oxygen, like things that affected my brain in ways. So I grew up with ADHD, like some learning problems, kind of like where it took me longer to process, but I was able to process it, just not like the normal person. And so my academics and stuff were kind of slow, and me catching on to things at times were kind of slow. And my dad was a performance-based guy. Like that's his life was all about performance, and his idea of showing affection and love is that I perform and I provide. And so we butted heads a lot when I was a kid. And so like from his absence, he would come home and I seemed to be the person that he was the most angry with all the time. So it's almost like I had this dad I wished that I could always see. And then when he would come home, he was always frustrated and angry. And I was never like don't get me wrong, my siblings and I, we were never beaten or abused or anything like that. But sometimes I was afraid of my dad, like just that he sometimes could have some explosive responses and like really heavy misunderstandings. And I was never allowed to explain myself. And like there was just a disconnect until a little bit later. And a part of that disconnect was that starting of that healing and that disconnect actually came after some of my siblings started pursuing life with drugs. And so, and also at the time, because of some of my stuff, I was having to hang out with my brother a lot. And so my brother started getting into some things. And so I started getting into some things because, I can't hang around and be a rat, so I have to join him in this stuff so that he felt safe about that, So some of those things started getting out of hand for my siblings. And yeah, so their addictions grew. And then we got moved from San Angelo to Bossier City, like Louisiana, up north in Louisiana. And it was just me and my parents. And at the time, there was a lot of stuff happening from those drugs. My brother got jailed for 6 months. My sister lost her rights to her child. Like there started to be a lot of abuse in her family, all sorts of stuff. And so that, I think 14 it was for me. That stuff really started affecting me. I just started seeing, like, just from being a kid, like, questioning, God, first off, I was born and having all these health issues, never getting to join in, always getting made fun of, always being behind, and then having this unpresent dad who's always angry at me. And then I'm seeing my siblings fall apart and how it's affecting my parents. And at that point, I was an extremely depressed individual who couldn't process all the things that were happening. And I started getting a very suicidal mindset at that point. Yeah, feeling alone. Yeah.
With that, you're the youngest, right? You were the youngest
I'm
child.
I'm the youngest child, yeah.
Okay, and you pretty much was latching on to your brother. He was kind of your I don't like to say idol, but
I looked up to him, definitely,
yeah,
man.
you looked up to him. You wanted to be like him. So you know,
Yeah, like there were a few key moments like with my brother, like me and him learned to skateboard together, me and him learned to play the guitar together. Like we had an acoustic guitar we had, and we taught ourselves how to read tabs and chord charts, and then just look up our songs, and we had an imagination for it. So like there were times like that, or times like at nighttime when we were supposed to be asleep, and he would be like, dude, I'm gonna put on a song, and this entire song you have to do push-ups and like stuff like that. It's like there was a lot of good bonding there. It wasn't a bad relationship. It's just I feel like that good relationship got taken by drugs, like just something got into their lives that took my siblings from me.
yeah, because drugs can really do a wedge in the family. Can
Yeah.
really cause an issue. all around. Not only does it affect the person mentally and physically, it affects everybody that that person touches.
Yeah.
You know, if you've listened to a couple of my, my family was big on drugs.
Yeah.
I had tried weed before and I didn't really like it. I'm just glad I didn't succumb to that. I had my other
Yeah.
demons I'd succumbed to. Um, with him being your role model, y'all learn to play guitars and skateboard, typical kid stuff, teenage stuff. Is that where your love of metal came from? Was it from your brother or?
Man, so like the metal stuff came later. Like usually, I really started off on a lot of Christian stuff, like some lighter stuff, like um, what are their names? Yeah, like people like Newsboys, like the earlier version, and DC Talk, like that. That's kind of some of the first things that I was introduced to, and then later on, like there was like introduction to like people like Skillet, and then it kind of grew into like Red and Demon Hunter, and like so it kind of grew over the years. Sorry. I think that over time, like after I really think I got into the metal side of things because it really spoke to me through the struggles, like after the separation from my siblings. So I was really when we were playing guitar, I was playing Metallica and Red Hot Chili Peppers, really. Like that that's kind of the stuff that I was into at the time.
And with that, you kind of made an outlet for yourself, through music, which to me, I think it's an outlet for a lot of people. Music can soothe the soul, can be there when when you're down, when you're up. Different musics for different emotions. So you started going into more playing, like Metallica and Red Hot Chili Peppers, which they are awesome bands. I'm never gonna say anything bad about Metallica or Red Hot Chili Peppers. Uh, they are some of the foundations on music that I grew up to listening to. I had other secular music. I didn't grow up listening to Christian music.
Yeah.
Um, you know, I was I was more into the Southern rock. My mom was into Southern rock, and then I was into like pop music because it was a big thing at my school. So yeah, music really it radiates with people, and it's there constantly. So
Yeah.
I'm always having music in my head.
Yeah, that's the same with me. And what I find most about music is like I tend to find myself like and I'm not saying I'm struggling all the time. Like obviously I'm still here and things are good, but but in times where like where you really don't have words for things, sometimes just finding that song that can like pull the things out of you that you're struggling to articulate really helps you to communicate. Like you might be able to share that with somebody like when you don't even have the words to say. Or, like just knowing that somebody else has been there before. Like and so it kind of made me want to write like that. Like I want to write in a way where somebody who's at a loss for words can latch on to something and not just have somebody saying, "Yeah, I feel this too," but also offering some hope and some solutions as well.
Yeah, and I'm totally on the same side with you. I completely understand, and I think that's a very worthy cause. So now we're going into the band Epigone.
Yeah.
For all the people that don't know what Epigone means, can you elaborate where
Yeah,
you
so
got the name?
Epigone, that is a Well, it was suggested by Bruce Gonzalez. So Bruce Gonzalez is the former bassist from Relent, and I'm glad to have him on. And he suggested that name. Really, if you've ever listened to Becoming the Archetype, there was a
Great
song
band.
called, yeah, there's a song called The EPIGONE. And the term means a lesser follower of a greater individual. So essentially, it's a disciple. We all know that there's already a band called Disciple, but our love for metal, we kind of wanted to give a homage to Becoming the Archetype there. And we are also identify ourselves as somebody who follows somebody greater than ourselves, Jesus Christ. And so we really wanted to just put that out there, and not just as a statement of our faith, but as an offering to others to come and do the same.
You know what? That sounds awesome because there's so many great artists out there, so many great metal bands that have Christian roots in them. You know, just as Becoming the Archetype, Disciple, Relent is awesome. You know, I love Miggy. He was on the show a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Great guy, great dude. That was back then when I met him. Was back then when Brandon was a part of the band.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then he went to Becoming Sons, and I think he's doing his own solo stuff now. Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got some pretty good stuff. I played with him up in Dallas probably last year or the year before, and we kind of collaborated on a worship song during that.
Oh, you should have told me, man. I would have came to that concert.
Well,
I
I'll
didn't
know
see it
better
pop
now.
up. So, but yeah, the band, it's a three piece, right?
Yeah, it's three piece.
So it's you, Bruce, and Dave. Dave's
Yep.
the drummer. So is he the oldest? He looks like he's the oldest.
Dave Whalen is the oldest.
Yeah.
Yep. He,
Yeah, since he's not here on the show, we can joke around with his age. No, just
well,
joking. Hey
nah.
Dave.
He's honestly he's a very skilled individual. He's just got a very analytical mind, and he's really good with technical stuff. Like he's very good at producing and getting all the gear working the right way, and pairing it up, and so like he's very good asset to the band.
And y'all don't stay at the same church?
No, we serve at different churches around town. I'm not sure. I can't remember the name of Bruce's fellowship, but Dave is a deacon at Calvary Hills Baptist Church,
Uh-huh.
and then I serve in the worship team at a church over here called Heights Community Church on the opposite side of town. It's about 40 minutes apart from each other. So
And do y'all have like a centralized place where y'all practice?
yeah,
Y'all are
actually,
like on each side of San Antonio, right? Are y'all all in San Antonio?
yeah. So he's got the suite setup. Dave does. He's got permission to use a room at the church, and so he's turned that into the studio where we do all of our practice and recording. And so we do it all in house, and that is a good drive from both of where me and Bruce are, but it's convenient to have a place that we can utilize for our own space. So we just kind of we drive to get there, and then at home, me and Bruce and him split off, and so he probably has about a 10-minute drive to his house, and then Bruce probably has a more of an hour drive, and me like a 30-minute drive to my house. So yeah.
Yeah. But like you said, it's great to have a place where you can put your equipment in. You can do your sound checks, your do everything to get prepared for the concerts that y'all have.
Yeah,
What you
I realize like a lot of bands have they don't have that luxury, and we feel really blessed because like some bands are having to pay for practice space, and some bands are having to pay for people to record them, and like just we've been blessed that God's brought people together that have the skills and the space, and just that He's provided through all sorts of ways.
so your band has played with many different bands
Yeah,
um, throughout San Antonio. San Antonio, if people don't understand, San Antonio is a huge spot for Christian metal.
yeah,
So many bands, so many great bands are out there. You know, Reborn is from there. You know, our friends Ryan and the guys from Reborn. They're from they're out of San Antonio. You're out of San
hmm,
Antonio. Beautiful Defects, Relent, Becoming Sons, Cannibalistics. The
yeah,
frequent people, frequent guys that come onto the show has been at the Metal Grace for a couple times. You know, it's a huge mecca for Christian metal, and I did not know that until I bumped into Fred from Cannibalistic, and then
yeah,
it kind of opened a door to meet several other bands over there, and it's
yeah,
really
man.
cool.
Yeah, and the brotherhood is pretty awesome. Like I think that's the best thing too. Is like in most settings, like in the music industry, like there's not a camaraderie. There's competition, and when it comes to us, like we're all in it for the same reasons, and we have this same goals, and like like there's interconnectedness that instead of trying to compete for spots, we're trying to help each other get them. You know, like, because it's not about whether I'm the one on stage or whether it's somebody else on stage. It's just about what we're doing on stage. And so, like, I think that's the coolest thing about having this big network here in San Antonio is that it can have a big impact, which I've seen reach like some of our music is getting heard in we sent a CD out to England, and another person's been affected by a lot of our bands that is in Canada. Like, so there's like we're seeing a reach coming from little San Antonio over here. Well, not so little, but
Yeah, not so little. I have my daughter and her boyfriend and my grandson live in San Antonio.
oh yeah, yeah,
So yeah, we go there at least a couple times a year. Um, it is a beautiful place. You know,
it's cool.
the river walk. Just don't look at the river.
Yeah,
But you know, it's really a beautiful, rich, culturally rich area there in San Antonio, and also, you know, there are some great shows that came on that came there. Y'all just finished a show what last week
yeah. We had
with
our
Reborn and who else?
there's this it's a kind of a newer band. They're like alternative, but they're young guys. They sound really good. They're called Here We Are in January. So
Huh.
HWAIJ, like that's kind of like their logo. But they're young guys. They're pretty skillful. They got great voices. They scream a little bit,
Just a little bit.
just a little.
And it was where at the Starlighter, or is
Yep,
that?
the
Yeah.
Starlighters off Fredericksburg Road in San Antonio near the Woodlawn Theater.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because there's another concert over there. Resurrection Records
Oh
is
yeah.
a
Yeah, they're
concert there.
coming up, and that's going to be at Fitzgerald's Bar. That's not too far from where I live. And we've played there before. It's a pretty awesome venue.
Are you going to that show?
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm definitely
Awesome.
going to go.
Awesome, man. And it's got a lot of great headliners. So San Antonio, man, I just can't believe the metal scene over there. It's pretty awesome.
It's fun, man. Yeah, and if you're close enough and there's things big enough, then it's always worth coming out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. I know Ryan, Fred, and Brandon have been, even Marcus has been trying to cohorts me into going to San Antonio again. And I'm like, well, um, maybe in a little bit. I got some things we got to do with the holiday. Maybe after the holiday, I'll come by and maybe we'll all have dinner, tacos, you know.
Sounds
Um,
good.
but yeah, do you have any upcoming, speaking of your band, and concerts, do you have any upcoming concerts coming?
Honestly, we finished our concerts out for the year. Like we're kind of taking a little break from here to January. Considering doing a New Year's show for sure, and then anything that gets offered and pops up in between, we may take on. But we aren't like diving into doing that stuff. For myself, I got to heal up my voice again. You know,
Uh-huh.
my lung issues. But so I need to have a little bit of vocal rest, which would be great for me. Also, I'm kind of getting into writing for new stuff, or I'm trying to get my head around writing some songs that are a little, maybe a little edgier than the last batch. So I'm taking a little bit of time for that. So, like right now, I'm sitting in the peacefulness to get that spark back up.
Yeah, and we all need time to break, to heal, to spend time with family, to just take care of ourselves, mentally, physically. So,
Yeah.
uh, but yeah, man, we're getting close to the end of the show. You have merch. You have a website,
Yeah.
epigontx.com. You can go over there, check out the music, get more information about the band, even little bios on each of the band members. Um, it's a pretty cool. They have links to all the music platforms that you can click on to jam out. It's to me, it's a you can also go into the Johnny Taco Spotlight and grab a couple of songs off of that playlist on
Nice.
Apple Music, um, as well as Spotify. So,
Oh, cool.
but yeah, man, you got any new music in the mix real fast before we head out? You got any new music coming up?
Well, I mean, we got one. We have a few songs that you hear in our live shows that are not present in the EP that we released, namely because we wanted to separate those songs. So we have the song called "I Am." You would think it's about one thing, but it's about a couple of things. So like I could give you a little theme on that one.
Yeah.
Like so that song, it's kind of edgier. Like it, one person heard it, they kind of described it as having a little bit of a Tool like Maynard sound, and like the song itself kind of reflects on this desire to be seen, not to have a spotlight, but just not to be like pushed aside and ignored and lonely. And so it's kind of saying like I'm here. Like if you see me, if you hear me, don't ignore me. I'm standing right in front of you. But then it shifts into that the Lord is seeking people to open their eyes and see Him, and that He's the I am. That we need to understand that He's right here before us. And so if we see Him, if we hear His voice, harden not our hearts and open our eyes to see. And so it's kind of got a dual meaning in that song, which is cool. Kind of personal meaning, and then the aspect that he's also a person that is ignored a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I can't if you ever get it recorded, man, you gotta send it my way.
Oh, it's recorded.
It
I'll
is
I'll, I'll get you listening to that soon.
awesome, awesome. Well,
Yeah.
thank you, Jaron, for being on the show. Thank you, Bethany, for keep pushing them to be on the show. it was awesome to meet you. Hopefully, I'll see y'all in Dallas. Just give me a holler when y'all are in town.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know. Hey, and
Uh,
if you ever want to hear the upside of my story, then have me back on. I'll tell you the good side.
we'll go part two coming up
Let's do it.
next year. Part two.
Cool, man.
Get y'all salivating for a couple of months. There we go. Well, thank you so much. It is an honor to meet you, and can't wait to jam out to your new music that comes up.
Yeah, man, I'll send you something, and it's been good speaking to you, dude.
All right, man. Well, enjoy that beautiful day behind you. That
I will.
wonderful nature, the nature. This is Johnny
Nature.
Tacos. Enjoying the nature. We'll just break a little bit. Hear the pleasant roar of the streams here on WKRP. No. Anyway. All right, guys. Guys. Sorry, Jaron. All right, Jaron, Guy. I hope you have a great day. And to all of y'all who had stumbled upon this podcast, thinking it is a Food Network special, how Mr. Johnny Tacos will teach you the best tacos in the world. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I also love to be the bearer of good news. The bad news is this is not a food show. Even if it was a food show, it would be awesome because I'm
Mm-hmm.
hungry right now. But you do get edification. You get edification through the testimony of my guest, my constant babbling about Jesus Christ. So it is awesome. I am glad you're here. If you like what you're hearing and you want to hear more, here, like and subscribe. Hit that little bell button. Bing. I have to make the little thing because I don't know how to do the bing on the video. Dong. Just like, subscribe. It helps out with the algorithm. It helps out spreading this show to the masses out there in the world. Big shout out to all the new guests from South America, Australia,
Oh,
uh,
awesome.
even Iraq. I couldn't believe I have people from
Man,
Iraq watching the show. It's awesome how God moves and He moves through this new technology we have. Just want to give y'all a shout out, as well as a shout out to the diehard listeners. You know who you are. I have a specific set of skills to find you, and that is
no.
on Facebook. So yeah, hit like on and subscribe on Facebook as well to get new information of upcoming shows, upcoming concerts, stuff like that, and just it fills your day. It's quick. There's reels on there that gives you a little taste of the guests before the full show. So it's cool. All right, well, we are getting out of here. I thank you. I thank our guest, and then I thank Jesus on the
Yeah.
top for giving us this platform to talk about him and talk about the awesomeness of the testimonies. All right.
Yeah.
I am Johnny Tacos, and I am out. And we are stopping with the stop button.
Peace.